Hello! Filmed my TBR game, and I'm going to try to explain it. I feel like I picked a very complicated game, though. I use this thing called Think Fun, and it's a math game. Basically, you roll this 12-sided die. It gives you a number 1 through 12, and then you want to use math to get that number by rolling these colored die. They're 1 through 6 numbers. Some of them have 1 through 3. And you use this little board. And I only go for the short game because that's 7 spaces, and that gets me 7 books, around 7 books, which is good for me. And then for the die, the red, for me, red is for horror. The orange is for sci-fi dystopian, sci-fi or dystopian. Green is for fantasy. Purple is for mystery or thriller. And magenta is for everything else. And I took a screen recording of how I get the prompts. I use the website that Chantel's husband from Chantel Reads All Day created, and I got all my prompts. So for our first set, 1 would be a random number generator, 2 would be set in a fictional place, 3 is set in my country, which is the US, 4 is a great first sentence, 5 is a used book, and 6 is a friend pick. So those are the ones we're starting with. And I'll try to insert the footage, but for my first roll, I had a few different choices, but I could choose a mystery, thriller, or my everything else category with a book set in my country. And I decided to use everything else and do a romance. And for that, I am choosing Lights Out by Nevesta Allen. Hopefully I said that right. And I don't tend to read the backs of books because I like to go into books blind. So all I know is the catchphrase here says the couple who slays together stays together, and Into Darkness novel. A dark romance like you've never seen before. Can you hand the ride? And I've heard great things about this. This book is going all over TikTok, and I can't wait to finally read it. Then for my second roll, again, I had a few different options. I could have done a sci-fi or dystopian for my everything else category with a great first sentence. I decided to go for sci-fi dystopian with a great first sentence. I'm not going to read this whole thing. This is the ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is all 5 novels in one volume, or one outrageous volume. I'm only going to read the first book, which is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And the first sentence to that is, Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. Kind of a long sentence, but interesting, and I love this movie, so I'm excited to finally read the book. For the third role, this one I had to choose 2 books for. So the first 2 roles I got 1 book each. This one I got a fantasy friend pick, and for that one I am choosing Polar Bear Explorers Club, because this is the book club pick for the month for Meg Reads, and I'll try to link everything below. And I've had this for a very long time, and I need to read it, so maybe I'll actually get to it this month. And along with that one, I had to do also a random number mystery thriller. So what I did is I did a number for all my shelves that have mystery thriller on them, and I ended up getting 7. And on that shelf, I counted how many books or mystery thriller books I had on that shelf, and I ended up getting 2, and I came up with this one. Let's see. Buried in Bargains by Josie Bell. Again, I have no idea what it's about. I think it's a cozy mystery. Don't know where I got this book or anything, but I need to read it. And I always try to stick to my physical TBR as much as I can. I do read library books too because I work at the library, so I also need to recommend those, but try not to do much ebooks and audiobooks. Then the fourth role, this was my last role. I ended up getting 3 books on this one. I forgot to mention that when I get the same number, I get new prompts to replace those, so I don't get duplicate prompts. And here are the ones I got. So I needed a seasonal sci-fi dystopian, or my everything else category. And for that, I decided to go with my everything else category and do a seasonal romance because I would count Bamboozled by E.F. Watson as a seasonal choice since it's about a vampire. And yeah. Then I had to do a mystery thriller set in a fictional place, which I found out that The Whisper Man by Alex North takes place in, what's it called? Featherbank, which is apparently a fictional place. And then I had a illustrated cover horror, and so I'm going to add Kill Hill Carnage by Tim Meyer again. I had this on last month's TBR, but I'm going to add it again. I feel like my light is making things look weird. And is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7 books. So here is my stack. Let me stack it a little better so they don't fall over. So here is my stack for the month. But remember that this one, I'm going to only be reading one of the 5 books in it. Actually, let's see how long that first book is. Yeah, it looks like the first book's about 140 pages. So it's only going to be that much of the book. Not bad. And then, as far as other books go that I want to read, though, I do have Quicksilver. I cannot remember the author's name. The fantasy romance that I'm going to be reading for my in-person book club. And then I want to read Phantasma. Also cannot remember the author's name. I just wrote down the title of the book. Another fantasy romance that I want to read. And then possibly Tasting Red, which I'm behind on. But that should be all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.